Live in 2006. My name is Carla Cox, and I live in Citrus Heights, California. And prior to Relive, I was praying for answers for depression. I had pain in my right hand. I had sinus infections every year, hot flashes, night sweats, mood swings. And I just had jaw surgery on September 3rd, and I took about 12 capsules every day for about 5 days, and the swelling went away. And today I feel better than ever before. I wake up before the alarm goes off, and I have no more depression. I'm off all my medications, and no more pain in my right hand, no more night sweats or hot flashes. And it's because, the body's a miracle, and I just keep giving it, my body, the nutrition that it needs to restore me back to health.
That's wonderful.
I'm very grateful for Relive, and I will never stop taking it.
Now, your husband has had some results, and your daughter, too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, my husband, he had plantar fasciitis for a year and a half, and after taking the products just a few short days, the pain went away. And his father died of heart disease at age 47, and the doctors were prescribed him statin drugs, and he didn't want to take those, and so he's taking the capsules to lower his cholesterol, and it's come down from 241 to 126, and my daughter had attention deficit disorder, and her grades got better, and also her eye contact, her social skills got a lot better. So I'm very, very grateful to God and for the Relive products.
That's wonderful, Carla. Thank you for joining and sharing with us here tonight.
You're welcome.
Thanks. Okay, well, next we're heading over to Arkansas, I believe it is. We have Bill Driscoll with us.
Good evening.
Yes, welcome, Bill.
Thanks. Let me give you a little background on me. In the last 11 years, I've had 6 different cancers. In April of 2007, I was diagnosed with a rectal cancer that they had no cure for, and the doctors prescribed extreme amounts of chemo to keep it contained. And they said without that regimen, I had 6 months. With the regimen, they could get me 2 years. And that was in April of 2007. In May of 2007, I was introduced to Relive. And by March of 2008, that tumor was gone.
Wow.
And then I was in pretty good shape until May of 2014. And they discovered a spot on my bladder. And when we went in to do a biopsy, they found out that I had a new colon cancer and a new prostate cancer. And the prostate cancer was terminal. They gave me 6 months. And so I started really loading up on Relive and the capsules. And I was doing like 8 of them a day. Thought I was really loading up. And I was at the conference in Kansas City in July, towards the end of July. And I got to talking to Quila, and she said, Bill, you need to load up more. And I was doing, like I say, 2 shakes a day. And I did the Now, Energize, Fiber Store, and Reverse Age. And I was doing like 8 capsules a day. And she said, do 4 shakes a day doing that. And I was doing a scoop each time. And then I upped it to 20 capsules a day.
Wow.
This was on a Saturday night at the conference, and I was already scheduled for a biopsy the following Wednesday in Tulsa. And when I went in, they did the biopsy. I had no live cancer cells in my body, and haven't had since. And
so
it's
this
all
was in
Relive.
May of 2014. They found it.
Correct. Yeah. The prostate, it was what they call a level 8, and I'd had a level 6 back in 2005. And so I asked the doc, I said, well, what's the difference? He says, well, level 6, you probably die of old age before it bother you. He said, level 8, you got 6 months. I said, oh, okay. And they had no chemo to attack it. But by putting all that nutrition in my body got rid of it.
That's great.
So I'm a walking miracle. Matter of fact, the doctors at the cancer center told me the only reason I'm alive today is because of the nutrition I'm putting in my body.
It's a pretty powerful story. They weren't giving you a whole lot of hope
no.
from what you just said. But
they call me their miracle
pretty
patient.
perky right now.
Oh, I am. And I take absolutely no medication. None.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Wow. And you just got back from a fishing trip. How'd that go?
Oh, I didn't catch anything. Got some bites. But had a great time. We were up in Colorado, up by Durango. Had a ball.
That's great. Well, Bill, we're happy for you and just so pleased that these good results have come for you. Thank you much for sharing.
Oh, you bet. You bet.
Okay, well, now we're heading over to California again, and I get to introduce you to a good friend of ours. This is Lana Lempert, and Lana, we'd love you to come on and share.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you, Bill, for giving me this opportunity to share with people. My name is Lana, and I live in California, in Cypress. I've been in with Relive on the 29th of this month, will be exactly 11 years since I started in this nutrition. Prior to Relive, I had a lot of health issues. Actually, my problem started when I was 35 years old. I had 2 major back surgeries. My first surgery was in 91. The following year, I had my second surgery. I was heading for my 3rd surgery, and the doctor told me I probably won't be able to walk. I was a small business owner, and it was really upsetting to me because I was very successful. I love what I did, and here I'm going through all these health problems. I also had a high blood pressure for 20 years. I took meds for that. Anyway, I lived with pain, chronic pain, for 15 and a half years. I didn't sleep at night. Started on Relive, a very good friend that was a relative that introduced me to these wonderful products. I went to a presentation and I heard the stories. And because of the money back guarantee, I decided to get on these products. Because I'm in retail and I don't like to pay retail prices, I was able to get them at the best cost. And I started taking a lot of shakes. I took 4 shakes a day. And in 3 months, I was off all of my medication. It took me about 8 months to become pain-free. And, I'm going to be 60 years old in a few months, and I haven't felt this way since I was in my 30s. So, of course, I'm going to take Relief for the rest of my life. And I decided to share this with people. You know, when you get results like that, you just want to tell everybody. I didn't care if the company is going to pay me or not. The first person I told, it was my son. And my mom, my 89-year-old mom, is taking these products. People that came to my store, they saw the difference in me. They started asking me, what am I doing? And so by sharing this with people, I went to the conference. It was November of 2004, and I decided, I met such a wonderful people. I met the company, and I decided to do this as a business. I came back, was doing this 10 hours a week because I had the shop. I was working 70, 80 hours a week. So I had 10 hours that I put away for this business. And in 3 years, I reached this level with the company. This one form of income went over $2,500 a month. That's when I decided to get rid of my store and do Relief full time. And for the past, since May of 2007, past 8 years, I've been doing Relief from home. I love what I do. I love helping people, changing their lives. And I'm never going to stop sharing.
That's awesome. Well, you mentioned, you had 2 major back surgeries. They told you that you probably weren't going to walk anymore. Sounds to me like you're not only walking, you're doing a whole lot more than just walking.
Yeah, I love dancing. You know what, as a matter of fact, I was just on an Alaskan cruise. if I had my store in 13 years being a small business owner, I maybe took 2 vacations. With Relive, I can take vacation every month. And I don't have to ask my boss or my landlord to give me time off.
Right.
Relive pays. 2 years ago, because these products work, I had built an international business. And 2 years ago, I decided to go to friends when we had the conference to meet my business partners that I was just, talking to them on the phone. I wanted to meet these people in person. So I went to friends. At that time, I traveled for almost a month. I went to see 6 different countries. I come originally from Ukraine. I went to see my country. It was my 40th year of school reunion. I got to see my people that I grew up with, my neighbors. It was amazing, Bill. And I came back from that trip. I didn't work for a whole month, and that was my highest check in Relive, over $5,000 in the month of October that I received. And that was
awesome.
Just unbelievable.
Yeah.
The product works and the business works.
There you go. And going back to, you mentioned that you were dancing, and I think you told me you wore some pretty high heels even dancing.
Yeah, I love to dance, and of course I love to wear the heels. And I didn't think I would be able to wear, but I can wear up to 4-inch heels today, and I can dance. It's amazing. It's like when I tell people that I had 2 major back surgeries, they look at me like, "Oh my God, how come?"
Yeah.
You're well. I was just on this Alaskan trip. We did so much walking in the cities, and I was not even tired.
That's great.
Well,
you have some powerful results, and what a blessing it's been for you, and you've reached out and been a blessing to a lot of other people. And Lana, thank you for sharing. Appreciate it.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you for asking me.
Thanks so much. Okay, well, we're heading over to Illinois, and there Patty and I have some good friends. We have Rita and Ralph Taylor. We've gotten to know these guys a number of years ago. We met at a conference and have remained good friends through the years. Precious couple, wonderful results with Relive, and also have joined in the business and have touched a lot of people's lives. So, Ralph and Rita, we'd love you to come on and share.
Hey, Bill, this is Ralph.
Yes, welcome.
Thank you. I guess I'm Ralph Taylor from Nauvoo, Illinois. I've been on Relive now almost 20 years. I'm a chemist by profession. So for me, my results, I'll try to keep this as quick as possible. I've had great results with stress, Lyme's disease, cholesterol reduction, even about with shingles. I haven't had a cold in almost 20 years, or flu. I don't get the flu shots. Along with that, I no longer wear bifocals. All I need is reading glasses once in a while when I decide to wear them. But for me, I also have had psoriasis and psoriatic arthritis. I've had psoriasis now for, probably something like 55, almost 60 years. People today don't even know I have psoriasis, which is pretty awesome. I've had it all over my body.
Ralph, that's psoriasis. Yes, that was all over your body. I remember you telling me at one point it was cracking and bleeding, and you used to wrap yourself in something.
Well, yeah, my hands used to split and bleed. From stress. When I went back to college, I'd have a dozen Band-Aids on each hand trying to keep blood off my papers. Along with that, I used to grease my body up, and I would wrap my body in Saran wrap.
Wow.
When I went to bed, trying to keep it oiled up. And I've even spent time in the hospital with the arthritis. So as I said, now people don't even know I really have had psoriasis, and sometimes I begin to wonder whether I did myself. You know, you forget where you were, especially when you've been on it this long. And I know there's a lot of things that have occurred for me that you forget. But for me, I really mind it kind of for prevention now, because as a chemist, I was exposed to very powerful carcinogens for my first 14 years of my working career. A lot of the people I worked with got cancer and died. And then I add to that the equation of family history with cancer. I've lost my mother, my sister, and my brother to colon cancer. I used to have yearly colonoscopies for removal of precancerous polyps, and now I've been able to go 5 years between colonoscopies, and they don't find any of the precancerous polyps anymore. So, to me, that's pretty awesome. And
that definitely is.
It's that quality of life that you get with Relive. I like to think that when we found Relive, we found the proverbial fountain of youth. When you add the nutrition with the reverse age, it's incredible. And most people look at my wife and I, they still think we're maybe 50 years old, and at 73, it's pretty awesome when you can have that much fun and still find out that just because you're chronologically old, you don't have to be old. I mean, I just came back from a little hunting trip in Colorado and packed out the meat on our back up from the mountain down, and we're over a mile up the mountain, and we hauled them out. So it's just pretty awesome to still have the quality of life that I know I would not have had. I probably wouldn't be here if I hadn't been exposed to Relive. So, that's to me,
it's powerful.
A whole worthwhile benefit.
That's
just tremendous.
Yes. All right, and Rita's had some wonderful things happen for her.
Yes, she absolutely has. So hang on, she's right here.
Hi, Bill.
Yes, hi, Rita.
Well, I'm going to share my story, and thank you so much for asking us to be on the call tonight, because we love giving that hope to other people that we received almost 20 years ago. So, well, my story actually began in October 20 years ago. Well, it'll be 20 years this October, which is coming up real quick. Our son came home from college and told us about Relive, and at that time we were taking a handful of vitamins every day, trying to eat healthy, trying to do all the right things. I had a full-time nursing position, and we didn't have time for anything else. I definitely was not interested in another nutritional product, and I definitely wasn't interested in a business, because I loved what I did. And because of his friend that he met at church, his friend's mom called me, and she just started sharing that hope that Relive offers, and she shared her story with me. And I have to tell you, I was pretty resistant at first, because I was a nurse. I was skeptical. I was doing all the right things, but my health was going downhill, and that was pretty surprising to me how my health had started to deteriorate. And story after story convinced me I needed to at least try this stuff. I didn't think it was going to change my life, but I was willing to try it, and I knew I'd get my money back. Well, I'll tell you, it is my life, and I am so grateful. I will always be grateful. But anyway, I was dealing with a number of health issues. I had osteoarthritis. I had tremendous joint pain in my hands. Just wringing out a dishcloth hurt. Trying to get out of bed in the morning, I probably looked like a 95-year-old lady trying to hobble across the room to get into the bathroom. And that joint stiffness went away. I was able to get off of arthritis medication. Today I am medication-free. My arthritis is probably 98 to 99% better without anything, which is great to be off those drugs. But also, 37 years ago, I was diagnosed with irritable bowel syndrome. I was on a prescription that I could take 4 times a day. I had to watch my diet. I had to avoid the foods that bothered me. And after being on the products about 3 months, I one by one myself off that medication, and today I am medicine-free. I don't have symptoms of that disorder at all, which is just incredible to me. But I also was diagnosed about 24 or 5 years ago with Raynaud's disease, and that's an autoimmune disease. There is no cure for it. The neurologist basically said that I could learn to live with that. And as a last resort, he said you can try this cardiac medication. It might improve your circulation, but it's never going to cure what you have. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm off of that medication. Haven't had it now in going on 19 years. But the exciting thing is I have not had one episode with my Raynaud's disease. To me, that is just amazing. But like Ralph, my vision has improved dramatically. My eye doctor told me this last year that my eyes are actually 30 years younger than my numerical age, and I used to wear bifocals. And basically, he just affirmed the fact that I still did not need glasses. And so we've had lots of other results. You know, my hair stopped falling out early on, and I've always had thick hair. I like my thick hair. And symptoms of rosacea went away, more energy, just that mental clarity. And there's probably things I'm forgetting. But anyway, we're just so grateful that someone introduced us to Relive. And now we get to share that hope with other people. Built my nursing career about 7 months after we got on the products, because I knew that these products worked, and I knew that if I just had some time, I could grow a business. And in 18 months, my husband was able to retire from his very stressful job as a chemist. And so we've been able to help a lot of people, both directly and indirectly, through this business opportunity. And we will continue to do this for the rest of their lives. I just tell people I'm a Relive lifer. I'm never getting off these products, and I'm never going to stop sharing that hope. So we have been so blessed in so many ways, and we're just so grateful to have found out about Relive.
And you've had some pretty neat things happen. I mean, the Pope is visiting the U.S. These days, and that has a special place for you, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. I am Catholic. I have been all my life. And the company had a promotion about 18 years ago, and they took the top 20 distributors in the nation to Rome, Italy. And we were number 2 in the nation at that time, and we were asked to come in with a group of Relive executives and have a private meeting with Pope John Paul at the Vatican. So it was an incredible, I almost have to pinch myself sometimes to realize that I actually was in the presence of a great, great Pope, and have actually touched a saint. So, yeah, I never had any idea at all that the company had ties to the Vatican back then. And I never
we have this huge humanitarian program. We have what's called the Calogres Foundation. Yeah. Yes,
there's a plaque that actually hangs on the Vatican wall that honors our company for its humanitarian work. And so the company's been recognized twice by the Vatican for its humanitarian efforts. So.
And you were on one of those trips and got to meet him in person.
Yes.
Wow, what a memory that was for you.
Yes, absolutely. Something I'll cherish for the rest of my life.
Yeah. There's a lot of side benefits with Relive, and when people talk about the business, they talk about really it's a ministry of reaching out and helping people, and the other side of Relive is this humanitarian program, which is just it's the checks of the heart as we make a difference in other people's lives on the marketing end and on the humanitarian end. We're involved in being difference makers. And you guys have certainly been that.
Yeah, well, it's been a journey, an incredible journey, and we're so grateful. We're so grateful.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. Appreciate you guys.
Our pleasure, Bill.
Okay, thanks. Well, I have one more couple for you tonight. A real pleasure for me to introduce you to Cheryl and Tom Elliott. They are bronze ambassadors with Relive. They have had some really good results with Relive, and they've also reached out and touched a lot of other people's lives as well. So, Cheryl and Tom, we'd love you to come on and share.
Hi, Bill. I am Cheryl's husband as of since May. I'm a high school orchestra director, and I've been on the product for a year. I love to run. I'm a slow runner. I run about a 9 or 10 minute half marathon, well, per mile, that is. And my best mile ever was in the 8th grade, and I ran an 8-minute mile. After last year, I broke my leg, and I was in a cast for 6 weeks and had physical therapy for 2 months. But then I got back on my feet again, and last week, a couple of weeks ago, I clocked myself at a 7:17. That's not bad for a 62-year-old guy who did his best run over 50 years ago. So I find that to be my most exciting thing. But now I realize I'm off all my medications. I was on three major medications. I was on a statin, Lipitor, for 15 years. It brought my triglycerides down. Wellbutrin for ADD and depression for 25 years, and Nexium for acid reflux for 15 years. So I'm really excited about this. I'm not going to ever get off this product just because of what it's done for me.
Well, hi, everybody. I'm Cheryl Stewart Elliott from Narberth, Pennsylvania, and I'm formerly Cheryl Stewart from Minneapolis. Just got married to Tom, as he said. I am a professional violinist as well as a Relive distributor, and I've been involved with Relive for about 12 years. Initially got involved because our family was sick all the time, and I have spent 15 years looking for some supplements that would help our family not be sick all the time. But we were juicing, eating organically, and taking these supplements. I still lost my husband to cancer, and at that point just decided there was nothing out there, and we just stopped the nutrition. In the meantime, my son was really going downhill with ADD symptoms. He could never get his schoolwork done. He loathed himself. He thought he would always be a failure. He was terribly frustrated, and that frustration turned to anger. And by the time he was 12 years old, he was having uncontrollable rages and announced to me one day in homeschool that he simply was not going to try anymore. He was done. He was sick and tired of meeting with failure every single day. So I really didn't know what I was going to do. Fortunately, someone did introduce Relive to us. And when I heard what was happening with other people, heard their stories like people are hearing tonight, I decided, wow, if this product could help all those people with all those different things, why couldn't it help us? So we got started, and within 2 weeks, my son's rages were completely gone. He went on to finish his senior year of high school strong. He's completed 3 years of college. He is an EMT certified out in Washington State and fully employed and happily married. He just knows that he will never be without these products.
Wow.
The rest of us stopped getting sick the way that we had, and I got just really excited that I had found something that actually made these kinds of changes in our health, and I started sharing it with people. And as I did, I watched my friends get results, and they got excited and shared it with people who got results. And so I started to earn an income. As I said, I'm a professional violinist. I was playing professionally. I was homeschooling my children as a single mom, playing with an orchestra in Minneapolis. And so I wasn't really doing this very purposefully, except I knew the products worked, and I wanted everybody I knew to be on them. So long story short, over the years, my vision for this business did change, and I did become an ambassador about 8 years into Relive, and I have been very thankful for that, and was earning several months between $4,000 and $5,000 a month, and my highest month was $7,000. But the really neat thing about Relive is, life happens, and life certainly happened for me this past year. Everything in my life changed, and I had to sell my home of 34 years and plan my wedding. Got married and packed up and moved from Minnesota to Pennsylvania to live with this wonderful man, Tom Elliott. But the thing that remained constant was every month I received a check from Relive, and I am just so thankful that the person who shared with me not only shared the products, but shared the business opportunity too. And it's just such a joy to be able to help others with Relive, and that's what motivates me to keep on sharing.
Yeah, this is a business of reaching out and making a difference in other people's lives, and it's a win-win. You help bless other people, and you get blessed yourself. One of the real blessings financially is something called residual income. Once you do certain things in Relive, you earn an income the rest of your life, and that's very, very powerful and allows a lot of people to be set free financially. So you've been blessed to be a part of that. You've made a difference in other people's lives, And I'm so happy to hear all the good things happening for you. And thank you for sharing, and we wish you and Tom the very best. Thanks for being on our call tonight.
Thank you for inviting us.
Thank you. All right, well, we're going to wrap things up there for tonight. So appreciate everyone who came on and shared on the call tonight. This call is recorded, and as we have 246 weeks of testimonies recorded,